So there comes a time in every creative's career or life where they have to face two big decisions: to keep doing the thing that they love because they love it, or to transition that thing into a business and make money off of it, make a living off of that thing. And I feel like this this one turn in the road usually breaks many people, breaks many creatives, breaks relationships and partnerships alike. And we wanted to address this. So on this episode of Conversations with Dan and Josh, we want to share our story, our journey of how we are taking our passion for marketing and content creation into a fully fledged consulting and training business. Welcome, and here's our story. So where did we begin? Now, from my side of things, I started out in the world of NGO and blogging. Believe it or not, I am a published blogger, published writer, and you can find my work somewhere on the internet. Just Google my name and you'll find it. Trust me, it's good, at least as much as I thought. But I used to do blogging and writing, and then I also used to work in the NGO space. And the NGO space, I was what you might call a communications guru. Tap on my shoulder for that.
My journey started, I think, from music, yeah. And yeah, guys, I can sing.
Are you there, there? Baby, are you there? Are you there, there? Girl, I've been looking for you in the air. It's a real to make up pretend. Steady moving around town in the bed. Oh God, got me sitting on the bed. You know I've been calling. You don't wanna run from me, baby. I've been calling.
Yeah, it started from music, where I worked with during expos and concerts. Didn't know much about social media or marketing in general, but it was fun capturing moments, getting people laughing, and just celebrating these things. Then I started off in tech too. So as a musician who could code.
And most of my work was creating comms for projects, creating comms for partners, and just moving the agenda of the NGO in the communication space. I did this for a while, couple of years, and it got boring because at a certain point I felt I had done everything that I could do in the communication space. It's not a bad place to be, it's not a bad place to work, but for me it got boring, it got monotonous, and I get bored easily. And it was at this point that I started to ask myself, I need to do something better, I need to do something different with my life, because this is no longer cutting it, it's no longer doing it for me, I'm no longer excited to get to work on a daily basis. And that's when I started to look out for what else could I do, what else could I dabble into, what else could I test my abilities in. And I thought of impact. How do I create impact for people like myself, for people that are going to join my, get into my shoes after I've left that role? How do I create impact for them in a way that they understand what this is, but also have a sense of accomplishment for themselves as well? And that's where I got stuck.
But the company I was working for at the time got me to actually be customer facing. So I would interact with clients, if they are stuck with, if they have issues, software has crashed and these things. So I would be the guy who picks up when people are complaining. And my boss told me, do you know what? Most clients tend to ask for you. Have you ever thought of switching to pitch to clients or be the one who takes these products to them? I hated it because it was overwhelming. Clients have emotions. If you know, especially if you're in client service. You deal with the happy, with the sad, with the angry, with the power struggles. But I then got to understand that even as a dev, we have to build products based on the client, not on what we want. And with that, I had started to understand that was actually marketing.
I thought about it, I prayed about it, I tried a couple of things, and eventually I decided, you know what, I'm going to try marketing. And my journey into marketing began with my writing. Because I used to blog, I got the chance to write for a magazine, a tech magazine, back in the day, several years ago. And writing for this magazine just opened my eyes up to what I was missing, the actual thing that I was missing, the thing that I wanted to do, which was, in a nutshell, marketing. Yeah, it was marketing. I didn't know what it was at that point, but it was marketing. And the work that I did there, I used to write 2 columns a month for that magazine. If you want to know what that magazine is, find me on my Instagram, on my Twitter. I'll let you guys know what that magazine is.
And through tech, through development, I crossed over into pharma, where pharmacy is more complicated than the usual. You can't say we have the best drug. You can't say our drug heals better than other things, or our Panadol is better than other Panadols on the market. So I had to learn to communicate effectively, efficiently, and emotively. The triple words. Effective, efficient, emotive. Write that down.
When I got used to writing, when I got to understand how writing works, I saw social media as well. And I asked myself, if I could write for the magazine, why can't I write for social media? And then I started doing that. I started trying it out. How to write a caption, how to think of a content calendar, I wanted to learn how to trend. Unfortunately, that didn't work, but at least I learned how to write for social media. And with that lesson, I think I did that for a couple of months. It was close to a year when I did that. And I chanced to land on marketing agencies or advertising agencies. The moment I heard of this, applied, eventually got in after several interviews. And then I discovered that this is the thing I've always wanted to do. I was thrown into the world of advertising. At that point, I was doing digital.
But from pharma, I got to experience more about brand. I got to understand a bit about logos. I dived into, Illustrator, where I got to design and, work with a blank canvas, and then you get to create some artworks. Some of them still live. Please don't judge me. It was tight, but I made it work. And guess what? That's when I discovered marketing. Because there's a time I designed something and I saw it on a billboard. I called my mom and I told her, your son has made it. Billboard. She was like, you're lying. I was like, you need proof? I had the Techno. I don't remember the version, but Techno cameras. When they are new, when they grow old, that's a story for another day. I took it. I sent her. We had the phone conversation. This mother, son, upload. Yeah, but then I actually understood that I could do something that would live beyond my PC, something that could impact, people beyond myself. And though I wasn't paid, that was fulfilling. But then I got to learn that there are people who are paid for this.
I got into that world where I said to do advertising, learned how to do social media, that is content calendars, learned how to buy media, digital media that is, learned how to deal with influencers, learned how to deal with clients, campaigns and things like that. And then I started to grow in that. Now, the vision that I had at the beginning of my journey, back when I was in the NGO world and when I was writing, it now started to come to life. I started to realize now this is the thing, and the thing that I wanted is called marketing. Understood what advertising was, started to also now learn the deeper things in marketing. If you do not know the difference between advertising and marketing, there's a video we did on that, link up here. Okay? But that's besides the point. I started to now understand what are the other things in marketing that I could do. And learned the 4 Ps, placement, promotion, pricing. product and what that meant?
From that, I switched over and I stopped being a developer. I went more into being a marketer, but I'm very heavily tech stacked. So I'm open to tinkering with tools. I'm always looking to understand why are we doing what we are doing, for what reason. Yeah. So you will not find me excited about copy or copy slapping. Yeah, because that's Dan's job. I leave it to Dan. For me, it's more of after copy, then what next? People are reacting this way, so why do we do so? By the fact that I did software engineering and pivoted into marketing, I am able to understand what makes things tick, or I'm passionate about that. But then learning how to get paid for it was still the challenge. And then boom, I entered media. I was feeling a cool guy now who could design. I thought I knew everything. Then COVID happens.
Yeah, COVID is part of the story, unfortunately. Not many like it, but hey.
And I would say for most people, COVID was a tough season. I would say for my side, it's the one time I had so many clients. It was overwhelming. I was handling about 20 accounts, so shuffling from restaurant to this, to fashion, to lifestyle, to music, to all these things. I had to cut down. This was not what I signed up for, because I could spend a week indoors working back to back, 7 to midnight, 7 to 10. This was not a thing. So thanks to Idol Dan at the time, who was in agency but had some time to spare, because for him it was like, I need me time. When I plug out, I plug off. Dan and his lines. Yeah, we shared this thing now. We shared this thing of how do we build something beyond who we are, something bigger, something better, something that impacts. And as creators, we're always thinking we need this cool name, and people, we benchmark the Nikes and all these things. So you're always thinking we need to have this idea with a cool name, but we're like, what is the SS? Let's have conversations. With who? With Dan and Josh.
It's because of the pandemic that the dream came full circle. The passion came full circle. I met this friend of mine who's very loud, that you might know. His name rhymes with Porsche. And we began this beautiful thing that we now know as CDJ.
Yeah, got a graphics designer. He designed that logo. So I started walking to Dan's place, and that's where we started cooking up the idea. That's where CDJ really took. And please, we are never deleting the first video. So if you die hard, you know them. Yeah, that's yeah. It's the dream then started from a sitting room.
Hi everyone, we're back. My name is Dan.
And this is Josh. Danny.
Hey.
Yeah, you remember those
good old days, huh? I call them the good old days. Those were the good old days.
Yeah, when we had to, walk.
I think let's just break it down. How exactly it used to happen. Let's look at our first video.
Our first video looked like this. We had the call, I think, in the
evening. Yeah, we had a call. It was like one of those Google things.
Yeah, so we wrote down a couple of points in like a notebook. And of course, Dan always writes, apparently, writer. So put it to good use. He writes the minutes. Yeah, so we had the plan, but now remember, bikes are off.
Well, this is like lockdown in the heights. So there was a curfew of 7 p.m.
Yeah.
The only bikes allowed were those doing deliveries.
Yeah.
And then you needed to have a government sticker
to drive. So I literally had to walk from Chigowa to Chanja.
Okay.
With the only motivation
that we're going to shoot and I'm going to cook.
And there is food and the Pepsi. In particular Pepsi. So first video, of course, you start off early because the heat was hitting.
There was heat.
Yeah.
There was noise.
Yeah. There was tension also
Yes.
because you're afraid of contracting, COVID and all these things. So started off, I think by 9.
It was about 9 a.m. Yeah,
I was already on the way. Got there by like 10. Yeah, it took usually like about an hour. Then you reach, we call it the cool down.
Yes.
Cool down
with the Pepsi.
Cool down with the Pepsi. Then we start. So we didn't have a ring light. We
used, because it was my living room at that point.
Yeah,
the house
so-
I used to stay at.
So we didn't have a stand. So literally
On the floor to
the
utilize
coffee,
the table, coffee
the
table.
coffee table. We did know things about scripting and stuff like that. So I guess we just winged it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
turned on the phone camera and just rolled
Yeah,
with it.
no sound testing. We're like, can it pick? It picks. There you go. We went, and I would say from there we used KineMaster.
Yes.
Editing.
Do
Do you still have that license?
I had to pay for KineMaster for a year. I had to pay for KineMaster for a year, and it was only mobile compatible. I think I was using it was a Samsung Galaxy something S7, I think.
Yeah.
And that's why the Techno. Now the Techno could not handle KineMaster, so I had to use the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That phone still exists, by the way.
Then your
That phone still exists.
editing skills.
Oh, my discs were rubbish. Rubbish.
But they worked for us.
Okay, they
that
worked for like
time.
the first couple of videos, but they were rubbish.
It took it down. So meet the senior
original
editor. Original
CDJ.
editor.
Go watch the first video. That was me.
Communications in
In the
COVID.
NGO world, it brought it. Yeah.
So whenever we shot, after shooting, we made sure I would never exceed 5
Yeah,
minutes.
because
It
it had to be short.
Yeah, it had to be short. Phone memory, you know the deal. Phone starts, you might continue jazzing. And the phone
And then the phone-
already retired long time ago. And when you check, guys, like
Nothing.
no memory.
Those things.
Memory full, yeah. So after we got it, we edited. Remember when we did that Kafas promo? Put it on WhatsApp
was sweet.
with the flickering. It had neon.
Yeah, it had the flickering neon. It also had some glitch effects.
Yeah. And that's how the journey started, really. That's a journey. And the point to note, we actually reached, I think, like after COVID, because after COVID, okay, not really after COVID, but
After the
a bit
first
of open up.
lockdown,
Yeah,
when they opened up a
there
bit.
was a lot of work. Like we had a lot of work. It was in agency, as in media, so there was a lot of work because these are businesses that remained fully
Functional,
operational,
yes.
and most of the clients were now opting for online. So we took a break. We actually took a break because
It was like what, 9, 8
yeah,
months?
8 months, because one, we knew we needed money.
Oh,
Yeah, we
we had
needed
spent
money.
money.
Yeah, we needed money. So we had done a couple of videos, like 5, but we knew we needed money to shoot. We needed to invest because now this was no longer.
It was no longer something we're doing for fun.
Yeah,
We were the objective
it's still
was,
for fun, but
I think we do it for money, but then there's also fun.
yes, the fun side of it, yeah. And the objective really had now become more
Clear.
Yeah,
Impact. was
yeah,
our thing.
impact to share what we can, and it's not a leader versus students. It's more of a peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
Hence, marketing conversations
In a casual sense. Hence
Yeah.
our style. Hence our
Yes.
style, which is why we're loud. We are, we're funny.
Yes.
We think we're funny. Okay, you
okay,
guys
we
can't hear
think,
us.
yeah. But yeah, we try the dad jokes. We take a short, take a swing. Yeah, but the 8 months, took a break for the 8 months. We saved a couple because it was manageable.
Yeah.
With the aim that once we start again, we
We
never
not
take
stop.
a break.
Yeah.
And so as creators, I think our lesson was understand what you're getting into.
Yes.
This is
Because we thought it was fun, and then we got into it and realized, A, there's a serious side to it.
Yeah.
B, there's a future.
yes.
But this future needs an investment.
Yeah, it needs an investment.
big
It needs clarity on where you're heading. It also needs if you're doing it more than one person. Even when you are alone, you need other people.
Yes.
So the dream has to be
It has to be
clear,
clear.
to
It has to
inspire
be clear.
others to join the dream. So yeah, that's how CDJ. After the 8 months, we came back,
Strong.
and both of us were still willing to do it.
And we have not stopped
Yeah,
since 2021, right?
Yeah, 2021 was the end where we took a short, transitioned.
Transition